Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to dive right into the ultimate 2026 blueprint for building your own completely independent, sovereign AI agent stack. If you are totally tired of watching your cloud API costs just skyrocket every single time your agents hit production, well, you're in exactly the right place today.
Because we are seeing a massive structural shift happening right now. We're moving away from those escalating cloud API bills to a world of practically zero marginal cost. When you rely on commercial APIs, things like context caches, multi-step reasoning, and automatic retries, they just eat up tokens at an absolutely alarming rate. But by leveraging the open source tools we're looking at today, you can run production-grade agents locally or on free tiers, literally dropping a $10,000 a month SaaS bill down to zero right after your initial hardware investment.
So you might be asking, why is this shift happening right now? Well, it's because local inference has finally hit a real tipping point. Open source models can now hit 90% of paid API performance, but with one incredible added benefit. You maintain full data control. Whether you're a freelancer trying to scale your gigs or an enterprise team needing to deploy safely on-premise, you can finally operate without any vendor lock-in. Okay, let's map out this stack building journey. We're going to go layer by layer through core inference engines, agent orchestrators, RAG and vector databases, dev and evaluation tools, multimodal processing, and then wrap it all up with a quick start production stack.
Starting off with Section 1, Core Inference Engines. This is your foundation.
Let's define what this layer actually does. Think of these engines as the heavy lifting workhorses of your stack. They act exactly like a private OpenAI endpoint, but instead of sending your prompts out to some massive server farm in California, they process the language models directly on your own GPU or CPU. You are entirely bypassing those expensive cloud endpoints.
And just look at the sheer scale of adoption here. Ollama is sitting at a massive 80,000 GitHub stars, and it powers about 90% of local agent backends with super simple one-command setups. Alongside it, you have enterprise powerhouses like vLLM, which can batch massive 70 billion parameter models at lightning speed. Add in LiteLLM for your routing and Hugging Face's text generation inference for high-end production, and you've got total provider independence. Moving up the stack to Section 2, Agent Orchestrators. This is the brain of the operation. So if the inference engine is your muscle, the orchestrator is definitely the manager. These frameworks allow you to build stateful multi-agent workflows. They basically take your local language model and enable it to run multi-step, self-correcting tasks entirely without human intervention. Your AI isn't just spitting back an answer to a prompt anymore. It's collaborating, researching, and executing complex plans.
There are some seriously incredible frameworks out there right now for this. CrewAI, for example, allows you to spin up specialized collaborating teams via Docker. LangGraph gives you graph-based flows where agents can actually self-correct. Then there's Microsoft's AutoGen, which scales to these complex swarms of agents, and Haystack, providing really modular pipelines for search and Q&A.
Next up, Section 3, RAG and vector databases. We are giving our agents a memory. Without this memory layer, let's be honest, your agents are really just highly articulate guessers. They're going to hallucinate. But by implementing Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, and connecting your agents to your own secure data repositories, you achieve perfect context control. They're forced to pull facts exclusively from your actual documents. To make that magic happen, a tool like LlamaIndex boasts over 200 data loaders, turning messy PDFs and S3 buckets into perfectly structured, hallucination-free memory. You pair that with Qdrant for massive, Discord-scale semantic search, ChromaDB for a really lightweight Docker setup, or AnythingLLM for a ready-to-go desktop app, and your agents instantly become grounded experts in your specific proprietary data. On to Section 4, Dev and Evaluation Tools, the tooling layer. Look, when you host your own AI, you really need the ability to safely test, benchmark, and interact with your models exactly like you would with those polished commercial APIs. This tooling layer gives you offline coding assistance, custom UIs, and really structured regression tracking so you know exactly how your models are performing. For instance, WebUI gives you a gorgeous, localized ChatGPT-style experience with literally 2 minutes of setup. On the testing side, Promptfoo is absolutely essential and lets you instantly run an A/B test comparing your free local model against a paid API benchmark. And for you developers out there, Continue.dev and Tabby give you fully offline, self-hosted alternatives to GitHub Copilot. Your code never actually has to leave your machine. Now for Section 5, Multimodal Processing, giving your stack its senses. We aren't just limited to text anymore, right? Multimodal processing is where you unlock vision, voice, and video capabilities entirely on your own hardware. This is huge because it means you can process highly sensitive media, like internal company audio or proprietary images, without ever sending that data to a third-party cloud provider.
Check out Whisper.cpp. It provides insanely fast, completely local transcription, or talking up to 50 times faster on a standard CPU. Pair that with Piper TTS for real-time neural voice generation, and you can easily build offline conversational voice agents. For visuals, Hugging Face's Diffusers pipeline generates images and video locally, while Transformers.js actually brings all this on-device inference straight into the browser.
All right, Section 6, Quick Start Production Stack. Let's actually turn the key on this thing. The best part? You don't need a massive engineering team to put this all together. By following these 4 really straightforward steps directly from the source, you can literally turn the key on your local machine. First, you spin up your engine with Ollama and vLLM. Second, you run your RAG backend using ChromaDB. Third, you set up your agent team with CrewAI. And fourth, you launch your UI and evaluation suite with WebUI and Promptfoo. And since these tools are Docker Compose ready, they seamlessly map from your laptop straight to a Kubernetes cluster or GCP. And the performance results you get from this kind of setup are absolutely staggering. By utilizing an optimized model like Qdrant 2.5 on a single consumer-grade RTX 4090 GPU, you can hit 80 tokens per second. Think about that for a second. That is high-speed, production-level throughput, and your ongoing AI usage costs drop to absolutely zero. There's a great quote from the sources that perfectly captures the massive industry shift we've explored today. 2026's meta: self-hosted inference plus agent orchestration plus evals. Open source AI is just scaling faster than startups can even keep up with. Mastering this self-hosted stack is for sure your ultimate advantage heading into 2026. It just completely replaces the need for massive monthly software as a service bills. We've seen how tools like Ollama, CrewAI, and Chroma can be spun up in just a couple of hours to genuinely rival the big cloud providers. With full data control, zero vendor lock-in, and absolutely no monthly API bills, the old barriers are officially gone. So the only question left to ask yourself is, what sovereign agent will you build today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this empowers you to get out there and start building your own independent AI stack.